If you're thinking about retiring in Thailand on Social Security, this video may save you from making some very expensive mistakes. A lot of people hear that Thailand is cheap, and yes, Thailand can be much cheaper than the USA, but cheap does not always mean safe. The real question is not, can I live in Thailand on Social Security? The real question is, can I live in Thailand comfortably, legally, and with enough cushion if something goes wrong? This is what we're going to talk about today. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, I'm Rick and this is Rick's Adventures. My wife is Tia and her and I own a home in Thailand. I also still deal with the reality of money, bills, insurance, immigration, and planning trips to the U.S. So I'm not coming at this like a tourist who spent weeks in Pattaya and figured that you have everything figured out. I'm looking at this from the perspective of someone who is actually boots on the ground trying to build a life here. And if you're in America thinking about retiring, semi-retiring, or spending serious time in Thailand, you better run your numbers. Thailand can be affordable, but it's not magic. The question is can it be affordable? Yeah, it really can. If you own your home, live outside the most expensive tourist zones, eat local food, and do not live like you're on a big vacation all the time. For example, in many areas, your basic monthly cost might include things like electric, water, internet and phone, food, fuel, household items, entertainment, and a little bit of money for maintenance and just unexpected things. Compare that to America, it can feel like it's a huge savings and relief. But here's where people fool themselves most of the time. They compare their best case Thailand budget to their worst case American budget. That's definitely not a fair comparison. You have to include the hidden cost. There's so many costs, you guys, that people forget about, and I want you to be realistic. When someone says I can live in Thailand on $1,500 a month, I always want to ask them first, does that include your health care? Does that include visa cost? Is that going to include travel back to the United States? Does that include emergency money? Does that include dental work? Does that include helping your wife, girlfriend, or family if they ask for assistance? Does that include replacing your phone if it breaks, fixing a car, or dealing with an air conditioner that goes out? Does that include exchange rates that change? Because if it does not, then you're not putting together a real budget. It's a fantasy budget, and fantasy budgets are dangerous. So let's talk about Social Security examples. Let's use some simple numbers, guys. If your Social Security is around $1,500 a month, Thailand may look very tempting. And yes, there's a lot of people that live on that here. But in my opinion, that's pretty tight. And you need to be sure you have savings, because if you have one medical problem, just one, or one emergency flight home, and suddenly Thailand being cheap is not so cheap. Now, if your Social Security is around $2,500 a month, that's a different conversation. This gives you some flexibility. But even then, you need to ask yourself these questions. Do I have any savings? Do I have any debt? Do I own or do I rent? Am I supporting anyone else? Do I need Western food or is Thai food okay? Do I need a private hospital? Will I need to go back to the USA every year or your home country? Am I keeping a house, car, storage unit, or insurance back in your home country? This is where the real math starts. My simple rule, it's very easy. Do not move to Thailand permanently unless you can cover your normal monthly expenses and still have a separate emergency cushion. Your monthly income should cover your monthly life. Your savings should protect you from the things you don't expect. If you're using savings every month just to survive, that's a big red flag and warning sign. If you're coming to Thailand with no emergency fund, that's another definite red flag and warning sign. If you're assuming nothing will go wrong, you're wrong. There's always something that will go wrong. Thailand's a great place, but it won't replace good financial planning. Here's a big difference: Thailand vacation versus real life. Another thing people find confusing with Thailand is vacation Thailand, hotels, restaurants, beaches, bars, motorbikes, everything feeling new. Real life Thailand is electric bills, paperwork, hospital choices, banking, transportation, language problems, insurance, and figuring out what happens when you get older. I'm not saying Thailand is bad. I'm saying you need to be honest about what life here is really like and plan for it. If you come here thinking every day is going to feel like a vacation, you're going to be disappointed. If you come here with realistic expectations, Thailand can give you a wonderful life. Here's some of the things I'd want to know. If someone were thinking about retiring in Thailand, I'd want to know a few things before I gave a hard opinion. What's your guaranteed monthly income? Your Social Security, your pensions, rental income, anything stable you know is reoccurring. How much cash do you have available? Not your fantasy future money, real money that you have access to, hard, cold cash. Do you have debt, credit cards, car payments, house payments, personal loans? And are you keeping expenses in the United States? For example, like I still have a house, insurance, storage, vehicles, taxes, and medical costs there. And then next, what do you expect in Thailand? What type of lifestyle? Are you going to live a tourist lifestyle, a Isan lifestyle, or something in between? What about health care? It's one of the biggest things you need to think about. And are you alone, married, dating, or supporting other family members? All of these things can change the budget quick. Here's the trap. A person watches YouTube videos and people saying, Thailand's so cheap, it's the best in the world. They sell everything. They come here with too little cash. They get in a relationship too fast. They do not understand the visa situation. They get sick, or they realize the lifestyle they wanted cost a lot more than what they thought. Then they're stuck. This is what I want you guys to avoid. I'm not telling you not to come to Thailand. I'm telling you, don't come here blind. Make good decisions. This is when Thailand makes sense. It makes a lot of sense if you have steady retirement income or whatever income, you have some savings, you're realistic about what your lifestyle is, you're not buried in debt, you understand that you're a guest in another country and you're willing to adapt to their culture. That's a big one we'll discuss in another video. And you have a backup plan. If that's you, Thailand may give you a better quality of life than the United States or any other country that you're from. Better food, warmer weather, lower housing cost in many areas, good private hospitals in many cities, and a much slower pace of life, and in many cases less financial pressure. But again, it's got to be planned. When Thailand really won't make sense for you. It won't make sense for you if you're broke, you have no emergency fund, you need constant medical care and have no plan for it. You're trying to escape bad decisions from your country instead of solving them. You think every Thai woman wants to live on love and noodles because that ain't happening. You think rules do not apply to you because you're American or from another Western country. That's going to cause you a lot of problems. You're coming here because you're some guy on YouTube told you it's paradise for $900 a month. That's not a plan, it's gambling, and I'll just about guarantee you're screwed. So my final advice is, can you retire in Thailand on Social Security? For some people, yes. For some people, no. It depends on your income, savings, health, debt, lifestyle, relationship situation, and how much you're willing to carry. Thailand can be one of the best decisions you ever make in your life. It was for me, but only if you run the numbers honestly. Do not carry your dream version of Thailand to your worst version of America or other country. Compare real life to real life. It's the only way to make a good decision. So if you're thinking seriously about retiring, semi-retiring, or spending part of the year in Thailand, you want to set a second eyes on your situation, I offer a 1 hour Thailand reality check call. We can look at your income, budget, lifestyle, concerns, weak spots before you make a major decision. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm not a financial planner. I'm giving you guidance from somebody that's living here. I've been coming here for over 6 years. I own a home here. So if this video has helped you and it's done some good for you, please subscribe to Rick's Adventures. I'm going to be covering a lot of new things with new costs, realistic things to think about before you move to Thailand and situations you can be in. So don't just move here on fantasy math, fantasy YouTube videos. Run the numbers, look at things realistic, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.